What's up, guys? Landon Rich here, call center crew. Gonna give you your dose of weekly wisdom for this week. So, we just went through Thanksgiving. We're coming up on Christmas and New Year's. No matter what industry you're in, you're gonna have different call volume in these months in the end of Q4, right? Depending on the industry, you may have a higher call volume. This may be your peak season, or like the majority, you're going to have a drop in call volume, specifically around the day before the holiday, the day of the holiday, and maybe even the day after the holiday. So if you're lucky enough to be a big corporation, have a lot of cash flow, a lot of capital that you can spend on a nice WFO system, workforce management system, which will tell you, exactly, hey, you need this many agents. Well, and on top of that WFO system, if you're lucky enough to have a client or a call arrival that is predictable, right? If you have a media spend that is going to hit at a certain time on a certain day and you can staff for it. If you have a client that gives you, hey, we are going to deliver you X amount of calls every interval, every day on these days, that's great, right? Because you can plug in the math, and guess what? If you get more phone calls than what your client tells you, then you're scot free, right? If you drop service level, it's on the client at that point. So if you're lucky enough to have a WFO system, if you're lucky enough to have a call arrival pattern given to you, that's great, and it makes it it makes it a lot easier, But if you're like the majority, and definitely with my background in the positions that I held here in the States and then also over in the Philippines, we didn't have that luxury, right? We didn't have a software, a WFO software that we could plug in numbers. We knew how many agents we had. We hoped they showed up to work on the days that they were supposed to, and then we knew generally Mondays and Tuesdays were higher call volume. We knew thanks to historical, right? So thanks to historical, we knew kind of what to expect in terms of call volume. So how we approached the holiday seasons is we pulled hopefully the previous couple years of call volume, if nothing major has changed in your industry and in your campaign that you're handling. But typically, let's just take for example this upcoming Christmas season, or this upcoming holiday season. Typically around for the United States, the majority, celebrate Christmas, 24th and 25th. It's going to be a lighter call volume day. So we would pull the past 2 to 3 years of call volume. We would look at hopefully down to the interval level and see, oh, hey, for the first interval where we normally get 20 calls this hour, we only got 2 last year on the 24th. And on the 25th, we were closed, right? So we pulled historical, and then the rule of thumb that we always followed is we obviously communicated with our agent base well ahead of time, let them know, hey, obviously the holiday season coming up. Any of you who want to take some extra time off, not paid, right? Made it very clear, this is not paid. Go ahead, take some time off. And we had a sign up sheet, first come, first serve. And we would limit our costs that way. But then we always definitely had people come in, right? Even though we knew it was going to be lower call volume day, we always had people come in just in case, to cover some spikes, to cover certain things. And then we would always, again, communication is key. Communicate with them well ahead of time, letting them know that, hey, most likely it's going to be a short day, right? You may be here for an hour, you may be here for 3 hours, but most likely you will be sent home, because as the day goes on, people are out doing things. They're not going to be calling in. So let them know ahead of time. Have them sign off, for HR reasons, whatnot. Have them sign off that it's okay that you send them home. Obviously, you'll pay them for the time that they're there, and maybe an extra hour or two for thanks for coming in. On a holiday, that time's going to be double time or time and a half anyways for working a holiday. So yeah, that's how we approached it, and then we just we slowly sent people home, and by the end of the day, we had a couple agents on the phone, or however many agents depending on your call volume, and that's how we approached it, right? So look at historicals. Good rule of thumb is always overcompensate. I'll have people come in, and then look, if you have 50 people come in at the beginning or 100 people come in at the very beginning, and you have to send 50 home in the first hour, then so be it. You pay them for that first hour. Technically, that's a loss, right, in terms of cost, but the risk of having them not come in is not worth it. So that's how we approached it. What else with the holiday season coming up? Just communication. I think is the number one. Communication, and then look at the historical trends, and make sure that you're ready to go. And then after the holiday, you better be prepared to get slammed, right? Depending on the industry, especially coming up on, let's say, the holidays on a Thursday, Friday, and you had that time off and you're closed on weekends. That next Monday is going to be absolutely hectic. So overstaff, limit the days off. You've got to look ahead. You've got to make sure that you look at the calendar and see exactly when you need to have people there. No days off. Maybe roll out a little extra compensation so people don't call in. You just got to be proactive. Got to be looking at the calendar. So again, that's what we did when we're bootstrapped and don't have any software to help us out. So I hope that helps some of you coming with the upcoming holiday call volume, the holiday season. You guys are probably well seasoned in it, well versed in it. But for those out there who might have any questions on different best practices and different ways to handle people calling in and things like that, feel free to reach out. Callcentercrew.com. More than happy to help you guys out. Thanks, and have a great holiday season.